Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. All right, guys, I am bringing you the most requested video for the past few days by far. All right, it's finally here. I'm going to break down how much money you are going to need for the new Cayo Perico DLC in GTA 5 Online. All right. Now, I'm basing my information off of previous trends and what has already happened with GTA 5 Online. They like to follow their trends. I'm also basing this information off the fact that I have predicted a lot of this content with help from leak sources and from just studying the game myself. All right. So that's what this information is coming off of. Again, nothing is confirmed about these prices. These are just purely predictions, but they are designed to help you understand what you will need going forward. I cannot stress this enough, guys. The DLC, as of today, us recording, we have roughly 21 days. 21 days until this DLC drops. And Rockstar themselves have touted this as the biggest GTA DLC ever, okay? So, it's time to kind of, really hunker down. And if you have any spare time to start grinding some money, do not buy anything right now unless it is absolutely necessary to, contribute to your money grind. If you haven't been playing GTA 5 online in a while, it may be time to start, getting back into the game to get this money up, because nobody is going to help you day one make money. Everyone's going to be playing the DLC. All right. I get that all the time. Help me make money. Dude, no, you already had time to make money. I'm going to enjoy the DLC and spend my money on it. Okay. Just being totally honest. That's just the way it goes. All right. So we're going to talk about the bare minimum, what you guys need to have for the GTA 5 online DLC, the Cayo Perico DLC, and what you guys, if you know what you're going to need to have to get started, what you're going to need to have to kind of enjoy it and have fun, and then how much it's going to cost total overall. And we'll talk about a few things with that as well. All right. So first, I want to address whether or not the DLC is going to have drip-fed content. For years, GTA 5 Online DLCs have had content that was drip-fed. So they'll release about 50% of the DLC day one, and then throughout the next couple of months, they will drip feed, vehicles and things here or there to kind of keep the DLC strung out. The most recent GTA 5 Online DLC did not have drip fed content. Everything was released day one. So, do I think they're going to do that on this one? I think that's a possibility that they're going to dump it all out. However, because the Cayo Perico DLC is supposed to be the biggest one that GTA 5 Online's ever had, there's just a possibility that they will drip feed the content. Either way, though, because I think that there's going to be so much content regardless, it'll feel like a normal DLC has been dropped day one. So they can kind of mix it together and blend it together, but I don't think it's going to matter because there'll be a lot of content day one. All right. So let's start out with some of the obvious vehicles and things that we've noticed in the game. The Submarine, right? I feel like the Submarine is going to be a combination of like a terabyte and a MCT, the Master Control Terminal in your arcade. I believe that you're going to have add-ons to it. There is a possibility it'll be like the yacht, where you'll have different, how the yacht has, there's different types of yachts you could buy at different price levels. That's a possibility. However, it could just be like a one price for the actual submarine itself, and then you add content to it just like the terabyte, and that enables you to have missions and make more money from it, which I think that's a strong possibility. There could be different classes of submarine, right, that cost different amounts of money. But regardless, whichever class you buy, I do think there'll be add-ons to help you with making money with missions and things like that. So very similar to how the terabyte's going to work, it'll be to launch and resupply and things like that from the HQ, because they call the submarine the HQ. We see that there is a missile activation in the trailer, so that could be very similar to the weapons that you add on with the terabyte. So with the pricing on the submarine, I believe it'll be anywhere between $5 to $12 million, depending on either there will be different classes or levels that you purchase and the add-ons to go along with it. Plus, there may be a paywall to get into it. For example, you have for the terabyte, you have to own a nightclub. That's a million, 1.5 right there just to get in the door. And then you have the terabyte itself, and then you have the add-ons. The terabyte ends up being roughly about $5 million. Between 5 and 6 with everything said and done when you add everything on there, the drone station, stuff like that. So I'm predicting between 5 and 12 million, 5 on the low, 12 on the max on that. All right. Let's talk about the vehicles. So We've only seen a couple of vehicles in the DLC trailer. A plane, which may or may not be new. It looks new to me. A couple of trucks, the Humvee trucks, the Russian ones, the little Jeep or whatever. I do think there's going to be a tremendous amount of vehicles available with this DLC. You're going to have heist vehicles. You're going to have just regular content vehicles. Because Rockstar says the Cayo Perico DLC will be the biggest one, I estimate there'll be between 15 and 25 vehicles, possibly even more. And we're going to run into a price of between 15 and 25 million. So we'll split the difference and call it 20 on the low to 25 on the high. All right, so between 20 and 25 million for the actual vehicles itself. And I think we're going to have a couple of vehicles that are kind of like the open wheel race cars where they're around the $3 million range. And then we'll have several vehicles around the $500,000 range, things like that. All right. Let's talk about clothes. Obviously, there's going to be new clothes in the game as well. If we're basing the pricing from the clothes off of past DLCs, they've been very expensive at times. The Arena War DLC saw some of the outfits that costed, well into $300,000-$400,000. So I do think the clothes will be. I think it'll be a mix. You'll have some clothes that are 10, 15,000. Some that are going to be a couple $100,000. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clothing at just a rough estimate, $3 million right there. All right. New property. They may bring in some new property for us, some extra garages, things like that, stuff to add on for other things. I'm going to estimate between 2 and 5 million for added property if there is that, if that's going to be part of it. But again, why would there not be? If this is going to be the biggest DLC, the Cayo Perico being, this expansive, why not, right? And maybe we'll be able to buy things on the island that comes out, those little nightclubs or whatever. That could be part of the, the social experience that we have for that island. All right, so 2 to 5 million, garage upgrades, things like that. Weapons, I do believe that we'll have some new weapons as well. I believe that we'll have between 5 and 10 new weapons for the Cayo Perico DLC. And I'm going to estimate between $3 million. I'd say roughly between $2 and $3 million for the new weapons. We saw with some of the DLCs, the weapons can get pretty expensive. Several $100,000 for, the up and atomizer, the laser weapons. And even way back in the day with the Lowriders DLC, you had liveries that you could add on that were $90,000, $100,000. The Mark II upgrades, the same, different colors, the kits and the liveries and the skins, those all total up together to be, quite expensive, up into the, several $1 million range right there. Moving on, miscellaneous things, weird, quirky things they add on, this and that. Maybe some more masks, some face paints, tattoos, stuff like that. Maybe they add some new, landmines for vehicles or little add-ons, stuff like that. Miscellaneous things that we don't really expect to have, but they give us anyways. I'm going to go ahead and put that at a $3 to $5 million price range for that right there. That's a strong possibility. Usually with these DLCs that tend to be complex, they add all that stuff in there. Transportation, I'm going to throw that just at a small price of $100,000. Transporting, maybe there's a transport fee to the island or this or that. I think that's a possibility for the Cayo Perico DLC to have a transport fee for something in there. Then we have luxury vehicles. Think of things like the yacht. Think of things like the gold jet, the gold helicopter, the Luxury Deluxe or whatever. What if we have to have these to transport? What if there's new vehicles they add in? I'm not going to consider the submarine that. We already know that's going to be in there. I don't think it's going to be a luxury vehicle. That'll be intricate to the DLC itself. So I think for the luxury vehicles, aka the flex vehicles, between 5 and 10 million right there. Now I want to talk about how much money you're going to need to get started with the Cayo Perico DLC, how much money you're going to need to have some fun and enjoy it, and then how much money the Cayo Perico DLC is going to cost overall. All right. So first up, how much money will you need just to get in the door? We can base this off of previous trends from Rockstar. They've never had a DLC that took more than $5 million to get in the door, just to get you started. So again, I'm going to go between $3 and $7 million. It may be a little bit more because this is supposed to be the biggest DLC ever, right? But I'm very confident in saying that roughly $5 million will get you in the door, okay, for this DLC. Now, how much will it take to, have some fun with it? What do I mean by that? To get in the door of the DLC, to start it out, to have some fun with the Cayo Perico DLC, buy some vehicles, things like that. Roughly 10 to 15 million to get a couple of vehicles, a meta vehicle, something like that. Maybe there's a new, whatever, that luxury vehicle. In that range is what you're going to need to have some fun day one. Okay. Now, how much will the Cayo Perico DLC cost in its entirety? You can take the numbers, add them up, and then basing this off of previous trends and the fact that this is going to be the biggest GTA 5 online DLC, we can go ahead and guesstimate that the Cayo Perico DLC will cost roughly between $35 and $50 million. And a lot of that variance depends on how many vehicles they release and the price of those vehicles with their content. So, you guys ask me all the time, Ty, is 10 million enough? Is 30 million? Is 50 million enough? The answer is always no. It is never enough. So you guys keep your grind going. From the posting of this video, we have roughly 21 days, 3 weeks before this DLC drops. So I challenge each and every one of you guys to get to $30 million, or if you're already at 30 million, to try and get to 50 million before the DLC drops. All right, that is your guys' goal, to get that knocked out. All right, so you guys keep grinding. Remember, check out the description down below. Links to my Discord will be there. You can meet people to help you out and make money and make this a little bit easier for you, all right? As always, thank you guys so much for coming out the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the illest and realest content in the game. Make sure you smash that like button. We'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace out. Yeah.